Welcome to Brad's Corner, a space within Empowerography where I share the reflections, realizations, and soul truths that come from the incredible conversations I've had with women from around the world. This is where we slow down, take a breath, and dive deeper into the lessons, the light, and the moments that have moved me, both as a man and as a human being. My hope is that something I share here resonates, sparks a thought, or ignites a light within you too. I'm Brad Walsh, and this is Brad's Corner. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Brad's Corner for episode number 9. My name is Brad Walsh. I am the host of the Empowerography Podcast, and this is where I step away from the interview chair and share what I've learned and the insights I've gained from interviewing over 800 incredibly extraordinary women. So speaking of 800, we just crossed a milestone, and I'm still kind of sitting with it. 800 episodes released. I released episode number 800 on Friday. 800 conversations with 800 different women and 800 different stories. And here's the thing about doing something 800 times. You start to notice patterns, threads that show up over and over again, no matter who's sitting across from me, no matter what industry they're in, no matter what their age is, their background, their title. So today I want to talk about one of those patterns. It's one I almost didn't notice, not because it wasn't there, but because it's designed to not be noticed. That's actually the whole point of it. It's called invisible labor. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's define this, because I don't want this just to be a buzzword. Invisible labor isn't just the physical stuff. Although that's part of it, yes, indeed, it is, for sure. It's also, though, the mental and emotional load that runs in the background of a woman's day, constantly, that most of us never even clock as work. I'm talking about things like remembering everyone's birthday, remembering to pick up the gift or the birthday card or the anniversary card or whatever it is and mailing it on time so that it arrives. Or being the one who notices when someone in the room is upset before they've even said a word. Maybe it's managing everyone else's emotions in a meeting or in a family dinner or in a group chat. Maybe it's being the default parent, the one whose name is on the school pickup list, the doctor's appointments, the permission slips. Or maybe it's just anticipating what everyone else needs before they even ask for it. It's just a knowing. None of that shows up on a resume. None of that gets a performance review. None of that gets a thank you most of the time. It just becomes this thing that's expected because it's just done and no one else has to worry about it. It's just automatically done. So no one thinks about it because it's always done. And so after 800 conversations, I can tell you this pattern does not discriminate by industry. It doesn't discriminate by income or by title. I've heard this from CEOs. I've heard this from stay-at-home moms. I've heard this from women running multi-million-dollar companies who still come home and become the one managing the mental load of the entire household. Now, here's where I want to talk to the men listening specifically, because I need you to really hear this part. Most of us, and I'm including myself in this, don't see this labor. And I don't think that's because we're bad guys. I think it's because this labor was never designed to be visible in the first place for people to see it. Think about it. If a task is done well, if the birthday card arrives on time, if the kid gets to school with a packed lunch, if the tension in the room gets smoothed over or deflated before it becomes a blow up, nothing happens. There is no crisis. There's no mess to clean up. The absence of a problem is the labor. Let me say that again for you. The absence of a problem is the labor. And we are wired to notice problems, not the quiet prevention of them. So we as men walk around thinking things just work. And I'm not painting every man with the same brush, but this is a common thing that I'm hearing through the conversations that I've had. So we walk around thinking things just work. They just happen. The house runs, the relationship stays smooth, the team gets along, and we don't even ask who is the one behind the scenes holding all that together, because from where we're standing, it doesn't look like anyone's holding anything. And that is the blind spot. It's not malice, it is structural blindness. I'll be honest with you. I didn't clock this pattern in real time growing up either. I was raised by my mom and my grandmother after my parents split when I was 10. And looking back now, after doing all of this work, after these 800 conversations, I can see all of it crystal clear. The way my mom carried the emotional temperature of our house, the way my grandmother remembered everything, tracked everything, held everything together for all of us without ever making it look like work. And that's the thing. It doesn't look like work, so we don't think it is. We just think it happens. Now, at the time, I just thought that's what moms and grandmothers did. I didn't have language for it back then. I didn't have the lens back then to see it as labor, real, exhausting, constant labor. It took hearing it from 800 different women in 800 different ways before I could look back at my own house and go, oh, that's what that was. That's what they were carrying all this time. So here's what I want to leave you with, especially for the men out there. This week, I would love for you to do just one thing. One. Only one. Name one piece of invisible labor that someone in your life is carrying, whether that be your partner, your mom, a colleague, whoever it is. And then I would love for you to take it off their plate without being asked, without making it a big announcement or a big production, without expecting a thank you. Not because you're trying to be a hero, but because seeing it, I mean actually really truly seeing it, is the first step of allyship. You can't support what you refuse or don't see. This is pattern number 3. We've covered the crumbs pattern, vulnerability is not weakness, and now the invisible labor pattern. There's 5 more patterns to come from these 800 conversations, so please stick around, come back, check them out. If this one hit somewhere for you, if it landed, if it resonated for you, please share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're one of the folks that I've had the honor of interviewing over these last 800 episodes, I want to say a huge thank you for you inviting me into your space and for you sharing this experience. And this whole series exists because you, yes, you trusted me with your story. You invited me into your space to share in that story. And I appreciate you for that, because it's wakened up a lot in me as well, because these patterns that we're going to be discussing, I didn't see them. So thank you for planting the seed. Thank you for awakening that within me. And thank you for showing me and awakening me to see it. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Brad's Corner. I hope that it resonated for you. I hope it landed, and I hope it lit something up in you. I will see you on the next one. This is Brad Walsh. Keep showing up and shining. Thank you for tuning in and spending this time with me here in Brad's Corner. If something I shared spoke to you, pass it on. Share it with someone who might need that reminder today that their light still matters. Together, we rise higher, shine brighter, and help shift this world one heart at a time. I'll see you in the next episode.